I'm the Dr. Lees Professor of Anatomy at the University of Oxford, working in the Department of Physiology, Anatomy and Genetics, and we've recently been awarded an MD UK Neuromuscular Disease Centre, and my research for the last more than 30 years has been focused on trying to find a therapy for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It all changed for me when I met a DMD patient. DMD is Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's a devastating, relentless muscle wasting disease where boys generally go into a wheelchair around the age of 12 and then die in their 20s, usually of either respiratory defects or heart defects. There is a high new mutation rate. That means it's coming up in every population in the world all the time. So unless we can screen every pregnancy early in pregnancy, we will never eradicate the disease. So there's a real unmet clinical need to develop a therapy. So the identification of the gene in 1986 by Lou Kunkel and Ron Wharton in Boston and Toronto respectively was a real milestone, because then for the first time we knew what the gene was. We therefore knew what the protein that it codes for in the muscle cell is, and it wasn't very long before we can identify what its role in the muscle cell was. And naively in those days we thought, well, now we know what the protein does, it won't take very long to develop a therapy. So it does take a long time. The technological advances that are happening in the last 5 years even have really accelerated research, so we're much closer to therapy. We've got clinical trials now, and I think within the next decade we'll have an effective treatment, or maybe effective treatments. One of the very important things in the field is that people like me that have been in it for 30 years may well still be doing it for another decade, but you need to get the young people in with new ideas, new technologies that are really dedicated to muscle cell biology, understanding muscle, meeting those patients, whether it's Duchenne muscular dystrophy or other muscle diseases, so that they can start developing therapies based on what we have learned and take it through to the next generation of therapies in the next 10 or 20 years. So in the end, we succeed in treating all patients, whatever their muscular dystrophy underlying their disease. Funding for research from organisations from MD UK are very important because they're willing often to take risks. It has to be peer reviewed, it has to be sensible science, but it means that we can pilot something, test whether it really works, and that allows really new good ideas to come into the field, and then we can build on them and run them and use that as leverage to get other funding once we've demonstrated the particular approach works. So they allow exciting breakthroughs in research to happen by promoting novel ideas and young people with those novel ideas to enter the field. By leaving a gift in your will to MD UK, you will enable them to train the next generation of scientists, which will build on what we've achieved so far and enable them to deliver effective therapies for all other muscular dystrophies in the future.